How y'all doing? Welcome back to another do-it-yourself video. In today's episode, we'll be turning this stack of lumber into a motorcycle workbench. Let's get started. To start, we'll begin by cutting the legs for the workbench. We'll need 10 legs at 24 inches. To let you know, this is the part where it gets loud, so you might want to turn it down just for a little bit. Here's your warning. Next, I'll cut the horizontal supports at 42 inches. Next, we'll cut 4 lateral support boards for the width of the workbench at 21 inches. Now that we're almost done cutting, we can begin making the bench. To do that, we'll start with the legs again. I'm going to use this 4x4 as a brace to keep them right where they want to be for that L shape that supports on each corner. I'm going to use my dad's old pipe clamp here to hold everything in place so we can pre-drill holes and sink screws. And we'll do this for all 4 legs. And leg number 4. Now that we've got the legs done, we can start putting in the lateral supports. We'll use this little block here to line up our top piece so that we know that it's right where it needs to be. And then for our bottom lateral support, we'll measure up 3 inches from the bottom so that our bottom lateral support only goes up to there. Do the same thing on this side, measure 3 inches up from the top. So that way we can make it level with our bottom lateral support. Okay. Our bottom lateral support. There we go. Do the same thing with the other one off camera. Now that we have our lateral supports put in, we can start putting in our horizontal supports. Alright, first set of horizontal supports are in. This horizontal support will be going in a little bit past midway to support a shelf. we'll leave that right there for now. And we'll get our top support in. For the front horizontal shelf support, we will measure 11 1/4 inches down from the top of this and we'll put a mark so that we know where to bring our support out to, so that our shelf won't overlap. Do the same thing over on this side. Okay. Now we know where we can put in that support. So we'll turn it up on its side. And we'll screw down into that support. Now that we have it marked, let's go ahead and make the mark all the way around. So that way we can keep it in line. Let's brush it down this leg, keep it in place. There we go. And now we'll flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. We got her flipped over to do the other side. And there we go. All we got to do is put on the top here, and then I'm going to put a piece of plywood over top of that. And I've got some ratchet strap hooks to put on as well. We'll be all set. Before we start putting on the top of the workbench, we still have to cut one more piece to go in between here. Should be about 18 1/4, 18 1/8. Now that we've got our center support here, we'll go ahead, 4 foot, so I have 4 foot is 2 foot. measure 3/4 of an inch back on each side so that we can line up our 2x4. So from 24 down to 23 1/4 up to 24 3/4. Do the same thing here. 23 1/4, 23 3/4, excuse me, 24 3/4. Mark them out. And with the help of Dad's pipe clamp again, we'll get this popped into place. Okay. Let's make this more a little bit. There we go. Okay. Continuing, we gotta find it. Alright, now we're set to put the top on. Now we're ready to start laying the top of the table. We'll measure 48 inches at the top and the bottom of the board. And we'll do the same thing at this end. Then we'll mark each spot . So that we know where our blade can go and get a good cut all the way around. Now we're going to have a gap here in the center, and that's why I'm putting the piece of plywood over top. But this way we'll be able to get our screws centered in right where we need to get them. There we go. Nice and solid. Go ahead and get the piece of plywood over here, put that on top, and then it'll all be nice and neat. Then we'll put our ratchet strap connectors on. pulled the plywood out a little bit so that way we wouldn't cut into the edge here. But now we got a nice straight line to cut on. Now that we've got the top piece cut, let's go ahead, flip it up over, and get her screwed down. Perfect. Okay. We'll go ahead and clamp it down. Do the pre-drilling. And get it secured. There we go. Well, I have footage of me cutting the bottom shelf, but unfortunately it corrupted and it just didn't work. So we're going to go ahead, I've already got it in place down here, and we're going to go ahead and pre-drill the holes like we did last time, and then put all the screws in at once. Now all we got left to do is to put in our ratchet strap mounts. Alright, all finished. Looks pretty good. That ought to do it. Alrighty y'all, I think that's it for this video. I know it's not a full-size motorcycle workbench, but I do have plans to put on an extension to accommodate a full-size motorcycle in the future. Be sure to keep an eye out for that video. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. I sure appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. Y'all have a good day.